Opposition forces seized control of Damascus early Sunday, marking the end of the al-Assad family's 5-decade rule with a swift offensive that captured the capital in just 12 days. The operation, spearheaded by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham (HTS), began on November 27th. Launching from their stronghold in the Idlib Governorate in northwestern Syria, the opposition forces advanced southward, ultimately toppling Bashar al-Assad. December 7th, closing in on the capital Daraa awakens. On Saturday, opposition forces captured most of the southern Syrian region of Daraa, the birthplace of the 2011 uprising. People also took matters into their own hands and joined the fight, then marched north with the fighters, according to political analyst and activist Noah Day. Swaida was liberated from regime forces and under the control of Druze factions by Saturday morning. The southern groups headed north, while the northwestern fighters closed in on Homs, the next city on the highway to Damascus. The regime was feeling the pinch as it watched opposition fighters approaching from all sides. Its forces were in organizational collapse, according to Sanad, Al Jazeera's digital investigation agency, with images emerging of soldiers abandoning their weapons and uniforms, while many fled on foot from their military positions. This collapse in morale triggered widespread demonstrations in the rural areas surrounding Damascus. Desperate to stop the opposition, the regime bombed the Rastan Bridge, but opposition forces captured Homs regardless in the very early hours of Sunday. With that, they had cut al-Assad off from his coastal strongholds, where 2 Russian military bases are located. The capture of Homs was a death knell for the remaining possibility that the Syrian army would consolidate its powers and make a stand. University of Oklahoma professor Joshua Landis told Al Jazeera, with armed opposition groups closing in on Damascus from all directions, the city plunged into chaos. The military operations room deployed the Red Crescent Division, specially trained for urban assaults, while many government forces were told to withdraw to Damascus International Airport and the security centers in central Damascus, but to no avail. The opposition fighters said they had taken control of Damascus's Meza air base, a strategic and symbolic win, because the base was used by the government for rocket attacks and air raids against opposition-held territory throughout the war. Within 2 hours, new footage emerged from Umayyad Square in the heart of Damascus, showing citizens celebrating as opposition forces entered the capital unopposed, with celebratory gunfire and chants signaling the fall of al-Assad. By 6 a.m. on December 8th, the fighters declared Damascus liberated, confirming that Bashar al-Assad had fled the country. People quickly dismantled symbols of the al-Assad family's cruel rule. David Desroches, an associate professor at the Near East South Asia Center for Strategic Studies, attributed the success of the offensive to the lack of morale and leadership in the demoralized, poorly led, poorly equipped, thoroughly corrupt Syrian army. Shortly after, opposition fighters freed thousands of people who had been imprisoned since the Syrian uprising began in 2011 or earlier, said Naya, established in the early 1980s north of Damascus, has been a place where the al-Assad family has detained opponents for decades. Human rights organizations have described it as a human slaughterhouse. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and share your thoughts. Who do you think is next?